Joining us now is ICC accredited lawyer, Attorney Gilbert Andres. Good morning, Attorney. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Angelo and Angela.
All right, Attorney, let's get right to it. No, from a legal standpoint, does the ICC ruling on fitness to stand trial follow to participate? Means does it follow the process? Ano ba ang take nyo dito, Attorney?
Yes, it actually followed the process, and it's not precise to say that due process was denied because, in fact, the defense filed last July 18, 2025, its submission of medical reports, which actually attach new medical records that have come into its possession. And in fact, the process from September 23 up to this week was actually because of that filing of the defense with respect to Mr. Duterte's fitness to participate. Of course, there's also the independent three-person expert panel which gave its report.
Well, could you tell us your new role in this case, you and Attorney Butuyan?
I and Attorney Butuyan were two of the three common legal representatives for victims. The third one will come from the Office of the Public Counsel for Victims. So we will be the ones who will actually state the views and concerns, as well as the statements and the legal arguments of the victims in terms of the pretrial proceedings.
And then, have you met the victims? I think you're going to handle 30 po ba? Tama po ba yan? 30 drug war victims? Have you met them already, all of them?
We're constantly coordinating with victims groups, although I cannot give any details due to the heightened security risks, but we're always in contact with the victims of the war on drugs.
Well, having said that, of course, nakakita po namin sa mga balita yung sinasabi ng ICC na they're allowing the victims to formally participate sa proseso, no? So, paano po ba ito? Ano po bang ibig sabihin nun? And how is this case will move forward?
Okay, kasi ang context dito is that the ICC proceedings are victim-centered proceedings. So, ang mga victims po, kailangan po nila mag-apply, at yun nga, nagkaroon po ng application process for victim participation. At yung naging decision po ng pretrial chamber last January 26 ay kung sino po ba yung mga aprobado po na mga victim participants. So technically, sila po yung mga makakapag-participate po sa proceedings na to.
And I believe there are some number of victims that were rejected, their applications to participate in the trial. What were the reasons po? Ano po yung factor na bakit po hindi sila pinayagan yung ibang mga victims?
Okay, kasi mayroong ABC mechanism yung registry Yung B po, yun po yung mga victim applicants kung saan nasa clear po na nasa labas po sila ng scope ng investigation ng ICC. Ibig sabihin, baka labas sila sa time period which is from November 1, 2011 hanggang March 16, 2019. Or pwedeng labas din po sila dun sa territorial scope, Kasi mayroong count 1 kung saan during the mayoral period ni Mr. Duterte. So baka po dun sila sa labas ng Davao City. So ito po yung mga pwedeng naging factors po bakit mayroong pong mga type B kung saan they're clearly outside the scope of the investigation of the ICC.
And this one, I asked Attorney Cristina Conti also yesterday about this because some people, some critics are criticizing yung pag-imbita po or pagsama or pagsabi sa publiko ng iba pang mga witness. Kumbaga pagpapublicize, pag-i-encourage at this point in the case na magkaroon pa po panawagan na magkaroon pa ng mga witnesses. What is the wisdom behind that?
Okay, let's be very precise. I think you're referring, Angela, dun sa OTP, Office of the Prosecutor, call for insider witnesses from the police and other law enforcement agencies in the Philippines. I think this is just a usual procedure for the Office of the Prosecutor so that they can also have specific witnesses. Kasi insider witnesses po, hindi po basta-basta yan. makakalapit po sa ICC, kailangan po nila
Right.
ng secure facility, electronic facility po, at binigay po yung potential pong yan na makontak po yung ICC. Kaya po linagay po yan ng Office of the Prosecutor.
And attorney, medyo ano lang, no, para at least ma-educate yung viewers natin ng konti. Kasi medyo ibang proseso natin dito sa Pilipinas, no, with regards to rules of court. With the upcoming confirmation of charges hearing set already, no, what should we expect realistically, no, na how many days will this take? What happens after? Anong roadblocks na nakikita natin?
Okay, Angelo, yesterday the pretrial chamber 1 issued a scheduling order. So it will be 4 days. Oo. So from February 23, it's a Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday and Friday po. So 4 days po yung confirmation of charges hearing. And then it's approximately from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Hague time. So merong 7-hour difference. Now, for those of our kababayans and other people who want to watch it, you can watch it online, although may 30-minute delay lang for security reasons. Now, what do we expect? We expect that first the prosecutor or the Office of the Prosecutor will give its opening statement. Then the victims po, magbibigay din po ng opening statement. And then yung defense po. At mag-argue yung prosecutor, kung bakit po dapat ituloy po sa trial proper yung 3 counts against Mr. Duterte. And the victims po, kami mga CLRV, Common Legal Representative for Victims, ay magbibigay din ng aming mga arguments bakit po dapat ituloy sa trial proper. And the defense will also present their side. So ito pong ma-expect natin for the next 4 days of that week.
And what will be the possible scenario upon this confirmation of charges? Of course, no, para lang alam din ng ating mga kababayan, this is not the actual trial yet.
Yes, you're right on that, Angela. This is not the trial proper. This is actually pre-trial. And in fact, ang burden po ng Office of the Prosecutor is to show that there are substantial grounds to believe that the suspect, Mr. Duterte, committed 3 counts of crimes against humanity for murder. Opo. At mga argumento po ito, wag po nating expect na mayroong live na mga witnesses kasi it's very rare during confirmation of charges na may live witnesses. So it's really oral arguments. At yung mga papel-papel naman, nandyan na po yan sa document containing charges that was filed by the Office of the Prosecutor, as well as the pre-confirmation brief.
Well, the defense has already, kumbaga, exhausted all the legal means to delay the trial. First, of course, yung interim release, the jurisdiction of the case, and recently yung stand to fit in the trial. How are the victims, no? Mostly kasi yung mga decision ng pre-trial chamber ay favorably doon sa mga for the case to move forward. So how are they? Are they very optimistic or confident about this case right now?
Well, Angela, the victims are very hopeful and they're very thankful for the string of decisions that were issued by the pre-trial chamber, and they're continuing to pray, continuing to hope, and they acknowledge and they recognize that ito po yung confirmation of charges hearing that will start on February 23 is just the first step. There will be multiple other steps, and they're awaiting that so that they can attain justice.
Okay, na-curious lang ako, attorney, no, kasi yung mga ICC accredited lawyers po natin na mga Filipino, bilang lang po kayo 3 or 5, tama po ba?
I
Ilan
think
po?
5, although I heard that there's a 6th one.
Oo.
I think there are 6 Filipinos in the ICC list of counsels.
Okay. And kayo pong dalawa ni Attorney Butuin were officially appointed by the pre-trial chamber to assist with the victim. So ano po ba yung mga parang naging parameters or factors na kayo pong dalawa po yung napili to do this new role?
First, dapat list sa ICC list of counsels. It's actually a very specific list. Secondly, I think the factors that were considered also is our nationality as bilang Filipino po. Kasi isipin po natin parang it's in a foreign country, yung ICC,
Language barrier.
Oo, may language barrier, we understand. yung language ng mga biktima po, and we can actually bridge yung ICC with the victims and vice versa. So I think yun pong mga na-consider. And remember, this is also a victim-centered approach, kaya mahalaga din po yung boses ng mga biktima sa prosesong ito.
Alright, patuloy po kami makikipag-ugnayan sa inyo regarding this. Of course, dun sa nalalapit na confirmation of charges. For the meantime, maraming salamat po. ICC Accredited Lawyer, Attorney Gilbert Andres.